One guy has $500 million worth of silver, an unbelievable silver story. We're going to talk about why he is doing this. Does it sound like the Hunt brothers or Warren Buffett when they tried to corner the silver market? But also, we're going to talk about recent data that he put out about silver in particular, which is almost too good to be true, unbelievable. But the reality is it's based in fact. I know you love silver. I know you love gold. I know you love precious metal mining stocks. I do too. I also know that you chose to join me down here today in the basement. I really hope you feel like you found a friend, a little home away from home, a little precious metals refuge. Please subscribe to the channel. That's free. All you got to do is press subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, share it with everybody, and leave a comment in the comment section below. You can pretty much say whatever you want. Speak your mind, okay? You don't have to agree with me. That's how we learn, is from each other. Oh, and by the way, later in this video, we're going to do an unboxing. I've got a package, that I'm going to open. I knocked Susie over there, and I think there might be some silver in here. And I'll tell you a story from my past from this book right here. All the wisdom in one place. But first, we're going to talk about this silver guru who has $500 million in silver, and then some like breaking new info that he's putting out, which is absolutely fascinating. So who are we talking about? This guy right here, David Bateman. He's a tech billionaire who's turned into a precious metals aficionado, proponent. I don't know. He's putting his money where his mouth is. He now has almost $500 million worth of silver, almost 13 million ounces of silver. And if you do the math on that at $38 per ounce, you come to $500 million. But the important thing we want to look at is why he's doing this. And let's go out here to the Substack article. Sorry, guys, we're doing a live recorded video here. Tech, good old tech. There we go. Here. He's talking about the reasons why. He says the global monetary system is about to collapse. The Great Reset, or the Basel Endgame. The biggest credit bubble in history will soon pop. Yes, we have $300 trillion in worldwide debt. Yes, a trillion is equal to 1 million times 1 million. 1 trillion. And we have 300 of them in the world. There's no way the United States of America can refinance its 28 trillion in maturing treasuries in the next 4 years. We're up a creek without a paddle. Things in Washington are getting crazy. Gold and silver are the only meaningful life raft. Physical possession is everything. The whole world right now is a sophisticated game of musical chairs. The chairs are the precious metals. Crypto is a psyop. That's up for debate. Real estate, crypto, stocks, and bonds will all lose significantly compared to precious metals. The banking system has been meticulously designed to seize your assets, to buoy up a collapsing banking sector. See the great taking. You have zero counterparty risk with precious metals, meaning if you hold silver in your hand, if you hold gold in your hand, you own it. You're not relying on anybody else for that value. If you own it, hold it in your hand, you own it. Okay, he's up 20% already. Good for you. This is not a drill. Your grandkids someday will either muse or lament this financial decision you're now faced with. Don't fail them. Not financial advice, for educational purposes only. Hey, same here with Ron's Basement. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything. Gold, silver, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cryptocurrencies. Don't get engaged. Don't make any decisions based on what I'm saying. This is for camaraderie and entertainment purposes only, but I do speak my truth. And since this is still a free country, I can do that. Look at all that silver. That's Mr. Bateman's silver hoard. Guys, we are talking about 13 million ounces of silver, maybe more at this point. Well, actually 12.7, I rounded up, but maybe more than 13 million. The guy's probably buying more and more. Are they cornering the silver market? Is he correct? But what's really interesting is what he recently put out, some crazy pieces of data that show just how undervalued silver is. Silver is on the verge, I think, right, of a floodgate situation where the floodgates open, where there's so many people trying to get their hands on silver that there won't be enough to go around. I know, right? I'm a silver pumper. I've admitted that many times. Yes, I do believe that silver, there he is right there, our silver bear who's blindfolded with $85. We're going to take that blindfold off when silver hits $85, and I think it'll happen sooner than later. Right now, we're going to open a package. I think I got some silver in the mail from our channel sponsor, First Mint. They're the mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, creating world-class silver bullion products, all original. What's really cool about them, they're owned by First Majestic Silver, Keith Neumeyer's huge silver mining company. So the silver goes from the mine in Mexico to the mint in Las Vegas to you. Never on the COMEX or the LBMA. Maybe Mr. Bateman wants to learn about them, right? Let's keep the silver off the COMEX and the LBMA. But they sent me a package, and I started to open it, and I thought, I want to show everybody just how cool their packaging is, and even cooler what's inside. So this came from FedEx yesterday. Okay, nicely packaged. I had to sign for it. Had to make sure I was home. Okay. And they send stuff in these cool little boxes, really like sharp boxes. And let me get the tape off here. All right. And what's cooler, hopefully it's in here, is then they pack it with this, I call it crinkle paper. See that? That black crinkly paper. And they wanted to send me, oh, wow, this is cool. Check this out, guys. Wow. Very cool. I'm going to set the crinkle paper aside. But look at this. Really sharp, nice black. This feels like I'm opening like an iPhone or something. And then inside here, sealed envelope. Sorry, I'm doing this live. I don't want to rip. Well, looks like I ripped it. You know what I'll do? Let me get out my scissors. I'll cut this open. I could sing for you. Ah. Okay. Oh my gosh. So inside this black envelope, oh, cool. They sent along a capsule for me, but I think I have an idea. Oh man, this is so cool. Okay. It's the new Las Vegas round with some awesome. Oh man, I just love this. Oh, check this out. This is awesome. I'm going to show you this side first. I used to play. This is the Las Vegas skyline. I'm sure you can see that really nicely. And it's got like a poker chip design around the outside. But on the other side, I used to like to play roulette. It has the roulette wheel with the First Mint. That is so cool. I love it. Right? Look at that. It's the roulette wheel with the First Mint logo in the middle. Man, I need to be very careful with this. Put it over here. I'm so excited. And everything came. I mean, look at that packaging. I'm telling you, it felt like an iPhone when I was opening it up. But so excited, so grateful to have First Mint sponsoring our channel. Look, guys, I'm here. I'm able to do this because of the support of the sponsors. I'm going to tell you a story later about my personal life when I go into that book that I showed you, all the wisdom in one place. But you know, this is how we support our family. And upstairs, Susie, a lot of you guys know her, right? She talks on the walkie-talkie. You know, she's a stay-at-home mom. So thank you. Anyway, thank you, First Mint, for sending me that round. Thank you for the sponsorship. Guys, it's great stuff. Everybody has been sending me emails telling me how excited they are. I mean, they create all original, high-quality silver bullion products. You can check them out at firstmint.com. Here, let me pull up there. There's our friend Baitman's silver bars. But here's their website. And there we go. That's the Year of the Snake. These are all original. Year of the Snake round, the Year of the Dragon round. That's their Buffalo round. I say it every week, but that Indian head design, I absolutely am in love with it. And there's the Las Vegas round that I just showed you with the new redesign on the back on the roulette wheel on the back. So Super cool. Again, thank you, First Mint. And there's a discount code. Okay, VIP RB. Very important. Ron's Basement. VIP RB. Free shipping over $199, and it's going to come to you right in those cool box and with the packaging that is just absolutely awesome. Oh, Bateman. He put out new stuff. The silver guy, the $500 million silver guy, put out new information that's just absolutely crazy about silver. Let's go take a look at that. If I can pull this up for you guys. Here we go. Here's a recent post. Silver apes are betting that the historical silver to gold price ratio of 15-1 could return. Wow, let's just do the math here real quick. If we did go to a 15-1, just out of curiosity, we'll say $3,300 so our gold divided by 15, that would be $220 silver. Would you argue with that? I don't think you would. I know I wouldn't argue with it, but that's not the really interesting part. This is crazy. For the above ground physical silver ounces to reach 15-1 against above ground physical gold ounces, that means if we got to a point where there was 15 times as much physical silver held in your basement, held in your vault, held in wherever, right? That there would, if we wanted to get to a point where there was actually 15 times more silver above ground than gold above ground, it would take 100 years. And that's assuming a century passes without a single ounce of silver being consumed for industrial purposes. That would mean for the next 100 years, all the silver that's mined is stacked up. It would take 100 years to get to a 15-1 silver to gold ratio with above ground silver. Oh, but there's more. And all the gold mining needs to stop immediately. Oh my God, guys, I'm telling you, with silver, are we not just on the precipice? I mean, we know obviously the amount of silver being produced by the silver miners is going down. Output production overall is going down. There's no, there was no investment in silver mining over the last, 15, 20 years? Very little, except for the smart people like Keith Neumeyer at First Majestic and the guys at Suma Silver and Dolly Varden Silver and Silver Mountain Resources down in Peru. But overall, there was very little investment going into future silver mines or future silver supply coming on board. And it's going to take another 10 or 20 years for any stuff that starts now to come to fruition. But we would have to have all the, for the next 100 years, all the silver that's mined, none of it consumed, all of it just stacked up, right? In your basement. I'm not commenting. Okay. And then all gold production to cease immediately. It takes 100 years to get to having 15 times as much silver above ground as we have gold above ground, because obviously no gold is, very little is used for industrial purposes. But we know, again, two things. The amount of silver coming from the silver mines is going down, and we know that the amount of silver being consumed by industry is going up. This is insane, but it gets even crazier. Let's go to his next piece of information. Before we do that, I also want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mining Gold. We're talking a lot about silver in this video, but the outlook for gold is also very bright. I think the outlook for gold development stage companies is even brighter. First Mining Gold is a development stage company based in Canada. They have two big multi-million ounce projects, Springpole in Ontario and Du Parquet in Quebec, both of which have millions of ounces of gold in the ground. They're working through the development stage, the permitting stage on these projects. And guys, guess what? Same thing with gold. There's hardly any big major gold projects available in favorable jurisdictions. And First Mining Gold checks both those boxes. You can learn more about them at First Mining Gold. Oh, and by the way, Keith Neumeyer, who's the CEO of First Majestic Silver, is the chairman of the board and the founder of First Mining Gold. It's a stock I've owned for years before they sponsored my channel. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Buying silver, buying gold, buying precious metal mining stocks, buying anything in the world is risky. Do your own due diligence. Now, let's go look at the second piece of data out of Bateman that's absolutely mind-numbing. Here we go, and boom. Okay. Oh, wow. This is hot. This was today, August 10th, hot off the presses. This is crazy. It's simple. Sometimes the simplest things are the most powerful. If 10% of the demand for gold shifted to silver, it would eat up all silver mined on the planet and leave none for manufacturing. Just 10%. Okay, 10% of the demand for gold shifted to silver. And I want you to think about that, right? Is that all that far-fetched? Is that all that far out of the question, right? Especially because we know how the sheeple react, right? You're not a sheeple. I'm not a sheeple. You're ahead of the curve, my friend, basement dweller. I've always said the basement dwellers, right, have in general a little higher level of intellectual horsepower than the general population, the sheeple. They're all watching CNN, nothing against CNN or MSNBC or whatever, right? They don't know what's going on. We know what's going on. When they wake up and they're like, hey, Sally, we need to get some silver. What do you think? Let's go. How do we buy silver? Oh, they're going to be asking you and me. It's just 10% of the demand for gold shifts to silver, right? It's going to be absolutely crazy. Look, this guy's a billionaire. He's got a $500 million investment into silver. He laid out his thesis, which I happen to agree with for the most part, right? And we all don't agree with each other on everything, but he's talking about this data that is just absolutely, can you believe, right, that if we wanted to get to a point where we had 15 times as much above ground silver as we have gold, a 15 to 1, just 15 to 1. Hell, the current ratio is what, 85 to 1 from a price perspective, the gold to silver ratio. But if we just wanted to get to 15 to 1, it would take 100 years. No more silver being consumed by industry over that 100 years. And no gold mining, period, just to get silver up to that 15. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But we know we aren't absolutely insane. We know the real reason, the real story about what's actually happening. Right? There's other people, great. Let them do what they want. But according to Bateman, and I agree with them, right? We could see a point in our lives. I'm 55 years old. I'm hopefully going to be around for a few more decades. I think there's going to come a time when we feel really, really good about our decision to invest in precious metals. Now let's do story time. Okay. If you don't want to hear a story, stop watching. But I've got this book. It's called All the Wisdom in One Place. And I love this book, written by Sean D. Williamson. Actually, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. And he wrote this book. He was a CPA, very successful, self-made guy. He's like Baitman, like made a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. But he wrote this book where he kept over the years all of what he thought were the wisest sayings, the wisest things. And I wanted to read one to you and then share a little bit of my personal life with you. Okay. Here we go. Here it is. Strength. This is on page 97, if you want to read along with me. Oh, you don't have the book yet. You can get it. It's in the description of the video. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable, you know the word I'm trying to say? I'm going to start over. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Okay. And what that means to me is, you can be as strong as you want physically. You can be you can be the smartest person around, but if you don't have the will to make something happen, you're not going to get anywhere. And let me share a story with you in my life. I'm 55. When I was like 51, 52, I'm not rich, but we were doing okay. But I was at a point in my life where my twin daughters were going off to school, and I was like laying on the couch and I was just like, I want to do something with my life. I was kind of feeling bad about myself. I'm like, I feel like I can contribute more. I can give people some value. I could create something. I've been a creative guy. And I decided to start a YouTube channel called Ron's Basement, decided to focus. And I knew that it would be hard, right? Guys, this is not easy. Anyone who's had a successful YouTube channel will tell you actually doing this. I know I'm like you. I used to watch videos and like, oh, so much fun. They just there's a lot of things that go on, a lot of work that goes into this. By the way, I'm the writer, director, cameraman, audio engineer, editor. I got to make thumbnails. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I love it. Okay. But I knew I wanted to do something. Back to that. And I was feeling kind of, crummy about myself. I said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to stick to it for a year. And I know it's going to be fun at first, but I know it's going to stink. But I got to have the will to succeed. And guess what? After about 5 or 6 weeks of doing it, it was not that. I love what I'm doing. I'm very grateful and I love the community and I love all this, but it's hard work. And the shiny red ball part of it went away. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. But I told myself that I'd make a video every day for a year. And then I'd try to learn something every day. And I hit that point and I was sitting right here. It was like 5-6 weeks in. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. What am I doing? And then you start thinking things like I'm making a fool of myself, but guess what? Nobody cares. Okay. And I did. I stuck with it. I kept going. I worked through the dip, right? Knowing that on the other side that there could be success and there could be fun. And you know what I learned over that year? I had several dips and I still have dips. I've been doing this now for 4 years. There is massive, massive benefits to believing you can do something, showing up every day, being willing to learn, being willing to grow, and you're never too old. So let me repeat that saying again. This is the book and it's got like 500. If you guys like this, you can tell me in the comments, or if you don't care about this stuff, just let me know. But if you like this, maybe once a week or so, I'll read one of these because this book is full. This book should be called How to Avoid Pain because it's full of wisdom from people like Abraham Lincoln, Gandhi, all kinds of people. Everybody. What's that guy? Benjamin Franklin, all those types of people. There. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Right? Like that saying, right? Like you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I want to read you the next one, but I'm not. I'm going to save that one. This one's from Gandhi. I'll read it next time. Okay. And that's kind of, also relates to people that invest in precious metals. We've been through heck. We've been through fire together over the last I've been in precious metals for 20 years. We've been through some ups, but a lot more downs, a lot more challenges. And a lot of us stuck through it and had a strong will, knew that what we were doing, that we believed in it and that it could all work out okay. So, hey, guys, as always, I thank you for being here. All right. I do want to say thank you also to channel sponsor Ledger. They are the cryptocurrency, hardware wallet, security leader, and MoonPay, right? They're like a leading edge fintech company. You're going to hear a lot about both of these companies in the next 10 to 20 years. They are leaders in the crypto industry, and MoonPay continues to innovate, continues to grow. But most important, I want to say thank you for joining me. Okay. It's a big deal when you join me down here in the basement. Be good to yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.